not everything is sour in the world of video gaming news, Angel. If I'm not mistaken, look, the producers of Game of Thrones worked on a video game recently.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
my friend, even better than that. The producers actually don't have anything to do with this. It's none other than the creator of the Fire and Ice series himself, Mr. George R.R. Martin, who is supposedly writing the plot for the upcoming game, The Elden Ring. Now, this was announced quite some time ago, and sadly, we didn't get news for like a whole year because of all this mess. The only thing that was shown in the original trailer is the fact that this is made by the people who made the Dark Souls series, so we know that by default it's going to be a pretty good game. Some bizarre, vague narration about, the Elden Ring, and a mysterious fellow with flowing golden hair and porcelain skin pounding on a mystical-looking anvil. There was also what appeared to be a female knight attaching a mechanical arm to her socket, and then we saw absolutely nothing else until now. A few days ago, what appears to be an actual leak of an incomplete trailer was released with some bits and pieces of information. A lot of people were calling bullshit, because let's be honest, it could be very easy to fake footage, but it looks real enough, and there was narration attached to it, which implies that this might look closer to the finished product. Now, when they look into it, we found out some very few mechanics. It appears to be something like a more action-based version of the usual formula, something more close to Sekiro than to Dark Souls series, though apparently attaching some sort of fantasy medieval stake to it. Now, this is what they managed to glimpse for the very few, like 10, 20 seconds of footage they managed to get, and to be fair, as I said before, this is incomplete, so we have no idea what the finished product will be based on it. So far, we know the following elements. We have a jump button. This doesn't mean much, but this is pretty much the first Souls game that actually seems to have a jump button to it.
We can jump again!
Yay!
We can jump again. But yes, a small snippet of gameplay shows a character executing what appears a standard jump, which means more exploration, which I'm down for that. It also shows that not only can you ride a horse, at first for the series, you can fight on it, which implies that the maps are big enough that you are going to need a horse to get around, and this might involve battles with a scale large enough that you might need your horse to set up an assault against the enemy. It has been confirmed that one of the enemies we're going to fight, and shocking no one, we're going to have dragons. Dragons are pretty much a staple of the series. They usually appear as gatekeepers. You got to find a way around them or snipe them from afar, because trying to fight them head on, you usually die. Later down in the games, you fight them head on and you're more properly equipped, and it looks really cool. So we got dragons, because of course. There's a bit of a gameplay style similar to Dark Souls. We got backstabbing, sword fighting skeletons, homing spells that resemble the soul mass spell used in the original series, giant doors opening to boss chambers, rolling. Basically, the release looks a lot like an iteration of, let's take the Dark Souls formula, tweak it up a little bit, add some more gameplay elements, and put it there. This might be the open world Souls experience people wanted. It might be, mind you. The entire Dark Souls series has always been around circles.
Yeah.
The levels are big and sprawling, but somehow you always find a way to get back to the start by shortcuts that you unlock. And the very few little bits that we found seem to describe what appears to be a rickety, broken environment. Hard to traverse areas, decay of planks and wood. Something similar to those of you who play Dark Souls, like Blighttown or the Valley of Defilement. As usual, there's a case of decay or things breaking down. Now, mind you, we don't know anything else beyond that. This is mostly what people have seen and what I have got from watching the videos. But so far, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what changes they're going to make to the series. And now that I got my hands on Neo 2, I can finally start cracking my head on a Souls-like game and see how that works out for me. It's not going to be the same thing.
That sounds like it's going to be crazy. Although I will have to say, if George R.R. Martin is working on the story for this, I got to tell you, this motherfucker is doing everything he possibly can to not have to finish writing his fucking book.
Right?
Nope. I'm not moving. I'm genuinely afraid that he's getting old, man. I'm afraid that he might die before we actually get to the final book of the story. Now, I will never shit on the man's writing talents.
Of course.
The fact that by copying his material, they made 5 seasons of what was, at the time, the most talked of TV show in fucking history, before they fucked it all up, should tell you that the man is good at his job. And the fact that those books are still held to such a high standard should tell you he's no one to mess with when it comes to literary work. I don't know how this is going to translate to video game, because video game is supposed to have a specific structure that the story has to work with.
An interactive element
to make
it.
Exactly. And let's be honest, we have seen the horrors of game development. We see what happens when you write a story and suddenly, yeah, we gotta cut that level out.
Kingdom
But
Hearts.
that level is important to the story. No, we gotta cut it out. Not enough budget.
All the way out. Yep.
But what about the boss fight? Yeah, we gotta patch it out because there's too many bugs. We gotta fix this for later. Point in
my
case
What
is,
a mess.
I'm a little worried because this is the first time he's ever done this kind of work. But on the other hand, I like to think his experience as a writer will eventually come through. We don't know much, and something tells me that whoever leaked this information is getting fired out of a cannon into the sun. But
Oh yeah,
if nothing else, this has worked to do the one thing that people fear that it will do, and it has sprinkled droplets of interest onto the starving and thirsting mass. It's like fucking Immortan Joe holding the lever to the
I was
tool.
going to make that comparison. You are ahead of me by a second. Yes, that's
People
exactly
just
what it
with
is.
buckets labeled Elden Ring just screaming, and he just goes, "Do not rely too much on the Elden Ring, lest you grow something
resentful
shiny."
of its absence.
Oh
Full
my
of his
god.
See, in this industry where when the information moves fast and the memes move faster, lack of information can really hurt your game, because if you take too long to tell your fan base what the hell's going on, people are going to lose interest. So yes, I understand it might not be a good thing, but these little droplets of interest might keep people's attention until we get a more solid piece of information.
Well, that's good. That's good. Before we wrap up,
Yeah, that is wild. I can't wait to hear more about this game because this sounds intriguing as shit.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, real quick, on the YouTube chat, Geeks5Ever, following up with the joke about paying us, was saying $600 should be enough, right? I mean, our leaders determined that was a good amount. LOL. After that, he went ahead and said, just wanted to share, we are extending an invite to any to be part of our XL podcast. We are doing a show to reach out to those with mental health issues who need our support now more than ever.
Oh wow!
Thanks,
An
man.
open invitation.
That's awfully nice of you. You shrewd motherfucker, plugging yourself into our show. That's how I thought.
Yeah.
You
Don't
fucking
advertise your
harness the
channel on
power
our
of
channel.
No, this is great, dude. No, this is great. This is the equivalent of the millionaire holding the invalid child for the photo shoot. This is great.
Yeah,
Freaking
except
great,
we're the
dude.
invalid child.
We're the invalid child, Angel.
I know, that's the point. We're all mentally deficient here. But
Yeah,
point
true.
in case, overall, few little sprinkles of information, like a pinch of paprika on your soup. Add a little spice to that. Not that we're not getting some good games. We have received some fantastic releases later, but when people are waiting for the big title, sometimes we just need something, anything. And it has been a long time since the original announcement for the Elden Ring. And we need something to fucking work with here. So to whomever was brave or stupid enough to leak that, thank you. I hope they never find out who you are, because I want you to keep your job. You did us a huge favor, and you put yourself at risk. So whoever you are, never reveal that you did this.
Do not
Ever.
lose your anonymity. That is your best form of
Yeah.
protection.
Until, of course, unless you're in a position where you don't have to work for them anymore, and then
And
after
then just
you leave,
fucking
you
go,
can
"Yeah."
blast it out to everyone like, oh, by the way, it was me, Austin. It
It
was
was
me.
me.
all along."
He just needs that
Geeks5 Ever
first prize.
responding, saying, hey, man, I'm Mexican. If I follow the rules, I'd still be in Mexico. If I follow the rules, I'd still be in New
You
York.
know what?
If Angel followed
Point.
the rules, he would still be in Cuba, and he does not want to go back to Cuba.
No, he does not.
Oh, my Elden Ring. So, regardless, we got some good news in gaming that hopefully will quench the thirst of those who are looking for something to enjoy in 2021. As the quarantine reaches its third month and Texas decides that they're going to take off the masks, we put our hands in prayer and hope that this means that eventually things will go well enough that we can all take off our masks. If not,
Except, of course, for the fact that
at least we can laugh at them.
Except, of course, for the fact that Texas is doing that within the next few days here, and
Yeah,
they're
I know.
doing this in spite of the fact that they're going into spring break season,
Yep.
where they're supposed to get all this tourism, and they're basically doing this because
right.
they're idiots.
If
Not
you
the
can
people
dodge
who
the
are
virus, you
living
can
in
dodge the
Texas.
ball.
Not the people who are living in Texas. We're talking about the fucking governor. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Hey, man, best case scenario, nothing too bad happens, and we can take this as an example. Worst case scenario, at least we'll have something to laugh about.
You smarmy bastard.
Wow.
I think we ought to wrap up.
I think that pretty much does it for us as far as that's concerned.